1. Cheyenne Mountain Complex, USA. Beneath 600 meters of solid granite in Colorado, hidden inside Cheyenne Mountain, lies a place built for the unthinkable. When the Cold War cast long shadows across the world, the United States needed a nerve center that could survive almost anything. The answer became the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, a fortress carved directly into rock. Massive steel blast doors, each weighing as much as a locomotive, guard the entrance. Behind them sits a small underground city, 15 buildings mounted on giant springs, designed to sway gently if a nuclear shockwave ever shook the mountain. In 1967, the complex officially became home to North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD. Its mission was simple but immense: watch the skies. Day and night, radar feeds and satellite data flowed into the command center. Operators tracked aircraft, missiles, and later objects in space. During tense moments of the Cold War, every blinking light could have meant history changing in seconds. Life inside the mountain followed a strange rhythm. There were cafeterias, medical rooms, even its own water and power systems. Engineers designed it to function in total isolation for weeks. Thick rock walls blocked radiation. Air filters stood ready to scrub out contamination. The outside world might be in chaos, but inside, the mission would continue. Over the decades, technology evolved. Giant radar screens gave way to digital displays. The Cold War ended, and the sense of immediate nuclear threat faded. Some operations moved to nearby facilities, yet the complex never truly went silent. It remains on standby, maintained and modernized, ready if needed again. Today, Cheyenne Mountain is more than a military site. It is a symbol of an era when fear drove engineering to extraordinary limits. It represents preparation at its most extreme. The idea that even in humanity's darkest moments, there must be a place that keeps watch. Deep inside the mountain, beneath layers of granite older than civilization itself, the lights are still capable of turning on at a moment's notice. And if they do, the world may never see the mountain move, but it will know someone is watching the sky. 2. Raven Rock Mountain Complex, USA. In the quiet hills near the Pennsylvania-Maryland border stands an ordinary-looking mountain. Trees cover its slopes. Deer move through the forest. To a passing traveler, nothing seems unusual, but inside that mountain lies one of America's most secretive strongholds, the Raven Rock Mountain Complex, often called Site R. Built during the tense years of the Cold War, Raven Rock was designed for one chilling purpose: survival after catastrophe. If Washington, D.C. were ever attacked, key military leaders could retreat into the mountain and continue directing the nation's defense. It became a hidden backup brain for the U.S. military. Workers carved vast chambers into solid rock. Behind heavy blast doors, an underground world took shape. Offices, communication rooms, power systems, water supplies. The complex was built to operate even if the outside world was in chaos. Like a ship sealed for a storm, it could function independently for long periods. Inside, lights hum softly against concrete walls. Long corridors connect reinforced buildings that sit within the mountain's core. Everything was designed with one idea in mind: resilience. Even shockwaves from a nuclear blast were considered in its engineering. Raven Rock supports the U.S. Department of Defense and works closely with the Pentagon. During moments of crisis, from Cold War standoffs to the uncertainty following September 11th, the complex played a quiet but critical role. While the public saw events unfold on television, deep inside the mountain, teams monitored communications and ensured continuity of command. Unlike famous landmarks, Raven Rock does not appear on postcards. There are no guided tours. Its importance lies precisely in its secrecy. It represents a promise that leadership and coordination would endure, even in the worst imaginable circumstances. Today, the Cold War is history, yet the mountain remains active and modernized. Technology has changed, threats have evolved, but the mission endures: preparedness. Beneath layers of ancient stone, beyond locked gates and guarded tunnels, Raven Rock waits, silent, hidden, ready. 3. Yamantau Mountain Complex, Russia. In the southern Ural Mountains of Russia rises Mount Yamantau, a massive, forest-covered peak wrapped in mist and mystery. Its name is often translated as Bad Mountain. For decades, rumors have swirled that something enormous lies hidden beneath its rocky surface. Near the mountain stands the closed town of Mezhgory, a place not marked clearly on many maps during Soviet times. Outsiders were rarely allowed inside. Trains delivered materials. Construction crews worked in secrecy. Satellite images later revealed large-scale activity, tunnels, roads, and guarded entrances carved into the mountain's slopes. During the final years of the Soviet Union and into modern Russia, reports suggested that a vast underground complex was being built beneath Yamantau. Some believe it was designed as a hardened command center in case of nuclear war, a place where leaders could direct the country even if cities were destroyed. Others claim it might be a storage site, a bunker network, or something entirely different. The Russian government has never clearly explained the full purpose of the site. Official statements have described it as mining or infrastructure work. Yet the scale of construction and the strict security fueled speculation around the world. Imagine descending through reinforced tunnels into chambers cut deep into ancient rock. Thick blast doors seal corridors. Independent power systems hum in the dark. Like other Cold War-era facilities around the globe, Yamantau is believed to be engineered for survival, built not for comfort, but for endurance. After the Cold War ended, many assumed such massive projects would fade into history. But activity around the mountain reportedly continued into the 1990s and beyond. That persistence only deepened the mystery. Today, Mount Yamantau stands silent beneath drifting clouds. Hikers see only forests and stone, yet beneath the surface may lie one of the largest underground complexes ever constructed, a reminder of an era when nations prepared for the worst while hoping it would never come. The mountain keeps its secrets, and perhaps that is exactly how it was designed to be. 4. Burlington Bunker, United Kingdom. Beneath the quiet countryside of Wiltshire, hidden below rolling green fields and sleepy villages, lies a secret city carved into stone. For decades, almost no one outside the government knew it existed. Its code name was Burlington. The Burlington Bunker was built during the Cold War, when the fear of nuclear war hung heavily over Europe. If the worst happened, if London were destroyed, Britain needed a place where its government could survive and continue to function. The answer was deep underground, near the town of Corsham. The bunker was not a single room or small shelter. It was a vast underground network built inside old limestone quarries. Stretching across acres of tunnels and chambers, it was designed to house up to 4,000 people. Inside, there were offices, dormitories, kitchens, medical rooms, even a BBC broadcasting studio. The idea was simple. Britain would not fall silent. Massive steel blast doors protected the entrances. Air filtration systems were ready to block radioactive particles. There were water supplies, power generators, and communication systems capable of reaching nuclear submarines beneath the sea. It was, in every sense, an underground government. For years, the bunker was carefully maintained in secrecy. Supplies were rotated. Staff were trained. In times of international tension, preparations quietly increased. Above ground, life went on as normal. Buses ran, shops opened, children went to school. Below ground, a hidden plan for survival waited. But history took a different path. The Cold War ended without nuclear catastrophe. In the 1990s, the bunker was decommissioned. The doors were closed, the equipment removed, and the underground city fell silent. Today, Burlington stands as a powerful reminder of a world once balanced on the edge. Beneath peaceful English fields lies proof of how seriously nations prepared for disaster, and how close history sometimes felt to turning in a far darker direction. The countryside above is calm. Birds sing in the hedgerows. Few passing by would ever guess that, deep below their feet, a secret government once waited for the end of the world. 5. Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center, USA. High in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, beyond winding roads and dense forests, stands a guarded facility few Americans ever see. Behind fences and security checkpoints lies Mount Weather, a place built not for comfort, but for continuity. The Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center was created during the Cold War, when the threat of nuclear conflict felt real and immediate. The United States needed a secure location where civilian leaders could relocate if Washington, D.C. were attacked. Deep inside the mountain, engineers carved out a hidden world designed to keep the government functioning during national catastrophe. Beneath layers of rock are reinforced buildings connected by tunnels. There are communication hubs, offices, living quarters, medical facilities, power generators, and water supplies. The complex was designed to operate independently, sealed off from the outside if necessary. If disaster struck, leadership could continue directing emergency response from inside the mountain. Mount Weather plays a key role in supporting Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. During national crises, whether natural disasters, terrorist attacks, or other emergencies, The facility serves as a coordination center. It is part of the United States' continuity of government planning, ensuring that essential operations never completely stop. Unlike some military bunkers, Mount Weather focuses heavily on civilian response. It is less about commanding troops and more about organizing rescue efforts, restoring communication, and managing recovery. Its mission is stability. Over the years, technology inside the complex has been modernized. Digital networks replaced older systems. Security remains tight, and much about the facility is still classified. Yet its purpose is widely understood. Preparation. Above ground, the Blue Ridge Mountains appear peaceful. Autumn leaves turn brilliant red and gold. Hikers explore nearby trails. Few realize that beneath the quiet landscape lies a backup center for an entire nation. Mount Weather stands as a silent guardian. It represents an idea that governments must plan not only for prosperity, but also for the unimaginable. Deep within the mountain, lights can still switch on instantly, ready just in case history ever takes a darker turn. 6. Zhongnanhai Underground Complex, China. In the heart of Beijing, just west of the Forbidden City, lies Zhongnanhai, a quiet compound of lakes, gardens, and historic buildings. From the outside, it looks peaceful and almost timeless. But beneath this calm surface, stories speak of something far more secret, an underground world built for survival. Zhongnanhai has long been the political center of China. It serves as the headquarters of the country's top leadership, including the offices of the Communist Party. During the Cold War, when tensions between global powers were high and nuclear threats felt real, China, like other nations, prepared for the worst. It is widely believed that beneath Zhongnanhai lies a network of tunnels and reinforced shelters. Some reports suggest these passageways connect key government buildings and possibly extend beyond the compound itself. Their purpose would have been clear: to protect leadership and ensure command could continue in case of attack. Unlike publicly acknowledged bunkers in other countries, details about the Zhongnanhai underground complex remain scarce. Chinese authorities have never openly described its full design or scale. What is known comes from historical accounts, satellite imagery, and occasional references in memoirs and research. Imagine descending from elegant lakeside halls into narrow corridors carved through earth and reinforced with concrete. Emergency power systems hum softly. Communication lines run through hidden shafts. In times of crisis, such a system would allow leaders to move unseen and remain secure. The idea of hidden tunnels in Beijing is not new. Throughout history, Chinese cities built underground networks for defense and protection. During the 1960s and 1970s, China also constructed large-scale civil defense tunnels beneath parts of the capital. Zhongnanhai's underground spaces likely form part of that broader strategy. Today, Zhongnanhai remains heavily guarded. The gardens are closed to the public. The lakes reflect the sky in silence. Beneath them, if the stories are true, lies a reminder of an era shaped by uncertainty and preparation. Above ground, Beijing pulses with modern life, traffic, skyscrapers, neon lights. Below ground, history may rest quietly in reinforced chambers, built to ensure that even in the darkest hour, leadership would endure. The surface shows serenity, the depths suggest vigilance. 7. Kosvinsky Mountain Facility, Russia. Deep in Russia's Ural Mountains rises Kosvinsky Kamen, a remote, wind-swept peak far from major cities. Snow covers its slopes for much of the year. Forests stretch endlessly around it. At first glance, it seems like nothing more than rugged wilderness. But beneath the granite heart of this mountain, many believe, lies one of Russia's most secure military facilities. The Kosvinsky Mountain Facility reportedly began taking shape in the final years of the Soviet Union. Unlike older underground bunkers carved into softer rock, this site was built inside extremely hard granite, a natural shield against even the most powerful weapons. The choice of location was no accident. Granite absorbs shock. It protects. Western analysts have long suggested that Kosvinsky serves as a hardened command center for Russia's strategic rocket forces. In simple terms, it may be designed to ensure that Russia's nuclear command system could survive a first strike and still function. If communication lines elsewhere were destroyed, this mountain could remain connected. Imagine reinforced tunnels descending deep into the earth. Thick blast doors seal off corridors. Independent power systems hum quietly. Secure communication cables run through protected shafts. Inside, officers monitor data from across the country. Radar signals, missile systems, satellite feeds. The outside world might face chaos, but inside the mountain, operations would continue. Kozvinsky is often mentioned alongside other Russian underground complexes, forming part of a broader strategy known as continuity of command. The idea is simple but powerful. Leadership and control must never completely disappear, even in extreme circumstances. Very little official information has ever been released. The Russian government rarely discusses the facility publicly. Satellite images reveal construction activity over the years, but details remain classified. This secrecy only deepens its reputation. Today, the mountain stands silent beneath cold northern skies. No sign marks what may lie below. Hikers and locals see forests and rock, yet deep inside, shielded by ancient granite billions of years old, a hidden network may stand ready. Kozvinsky Mountain is more than stone and snow. It represents preparation at the highest level, a quiet guardian of command carved into the backbone of the Urals. 8. Greenbrier Bunker, USA. At first glance, the Greenbrier looks like a grand luxury resort. Its white columns rise proudly against the green hills of West Virginia. Guests sip tea on wide porches. Golf carts glide across perfect lawns. It feels like a place made only for relaxation, but for more than 30 years, a secret slept beneath the elegance. Hidden deep under the hotel was the Greenbrier Bunker, a massive underground shelter built during the Cold War. Its purpose was extraordinary, to house the entire United States Congress in case of nuclear war. In the late 1950s, as tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union intensified, the government needed a secure location far from Washington, D.C. West Virginia's mountains offered natural protection. Construction crews worked quietly. Officially, they were building storage and conference facilities for the hotel. In reality, they were creating a hidden survival center for democracy itself. Behind thick blast doors lay an underground world. There were dormitories with rows of bunk beds, meeting halls designed to resemble the House and Senate chambers, medical facilities, kitchens, and communication rooms. The bunker could support more than 500 people for weeks. To keep the secret, a small group of hotel employees were actually government workers in disguise. They maintained the equipment and ensured everything stayed ready. If disaster struck, members of Congress would be rushed to the Greenbrier under strict secrecy. For decades, the plan remained hidden. Presidents came and went. Guests danced in ballrooms above. Few imagined that just below the polished floors lay a fortified refuge built for the end of the world. In 1992, the secret was revealed by the press. Soon after, the bunker was decommissioned. Today, visitors can tour the once classified halls and stand inside rooms meant to preserve the nation's leadership. The Greenbrier Bunker is a reminder of an anxious era, a time when nations prepared for unimaginable destruction. Above ground, the hotel still shines with charm and history. Below ground, silent concrete corridors tell a quieter story. Even in fear, the goal was survival and continuity. 9. Pionen White Mountains, Sweden. Beneath the streets of Stockholm, 30 meters under solid granite, lies a place that looks like it belongs in a science fiction movie. Palm trees stand under artificial light. Waterfalls flow against rough stone walls. Glass meeting rooms glow like spacecraft bridges. This is Pionen White Mountains, one of the world's most unusual data centers. But Pionen was not always futuristic and greenlit. It was born during the Cold War as a civil defense bunker. Carved deep into the bedrock of Södermalm Island, it was designed to protect people from nuclear attack. Thick blast doors and reinforced tunnels made it a shelter built for survival. Decades later, the Swedish internet provider Bahnhof transformed the bunker into a high-security data center. Instead of soldiers and supplies, servers now fill the halls. Instead of emergency drills, technicians monitor blinking lights and cooling systems. The goal is different, yet strangely similar: protection. Inside Pionen, information is the treasure. The servers store websites, communications, and digital services used by people around the world. The rock above acts as a natural shield. The old blast doors still stand guard. Backup power systems ensure the data keeps flowing, even if the city above loses electricity. The design embraces its dramatic past. Architects left much of the raw granite exposed. Steel walkways cross over glowing blue floors. Plants and modern art soften the industrial strength of the space. The result feels like a hidden underground base from a movie, yet it is very real. Pionen gained global attention when it hosted well-known platforms and organizations that valued security and privacy. Its reputation grew as a symbol of digital resilience, a fortress not for people, but for information. Above ground, Stockholm is calm and modern. Ferries cross the water. Cafes filled with conversation. Few pedestrians realize that below their feet lies a bunker reborn for the internet age. Pionen White Mountains tells a powerful story about change. A shelter once built for nuclear survival now protects something just as vital in today's world: data. The threats have evolved, but the mission remains: to endure, no matter what happens outside. 10. Balaklava Submarine Base Complex, 825 GTS, Ukraine/Crimea. On the southern coast of Crimea, near the quiet harbor town of Balaklava, steep cliffs rise above dark blue water. Fishing boats float peacefully in the bay. Tourists stroll along the waterfront cafes. It feels calm, almost timeless. But hidden inside the mountain beside the harbor lies one of the Cold War's most remarkable secrets: Complex 825 GTS. During the 1950s, at the height of tension between East and West, the Soviet Union began carving a massive underground submarine base directly into the rock. The project was so secret that Balaklava itself became a closed city. It disappeared from many maps. Outsiders could not enter without permission. Engineers hollowed out an entire mountain. Inside, they built a concealed canal connected directly to the sea. Submarines could glide silently into the tunnel, hidden from satellites and enemy ships. Massive blast doors sealed the entrances. The complex was designed to survive a nuclear strike. Within the mountain were repair docks, storage facilities, ammunition depots, and living quarters. At its peak, the base could shelter and service several submarines at once. Workers and sailors moved through reinforced corridors, lit by artificial light, far from the sun and wind outside. The scale of the engineering was extraordinary. Thousands of tons of rock were removed. Thick concrete walls strengthened the tunnels. If war had come, Complex 825 GTS would have allowed Soviet submarines to prepare, rearm, and return to sea, even after a devastating attack. For decades, the base operated in secrecy. Families in nearby towns knew little of what happened inside the mountain. The harbor looked ordinary, but beneath the cliffs lay a hidden naval fortress. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the base was abandoned. Equipment was removed. The silence that followed was almost eerie. Later, the site was transformed into a museum, allowing visitors to walk through the same tunnels where submarines once waited in darkness. Today, echoes replace engine noise. The underground canal reflects soft light instead of military shadows. Complex 825 GTS stands as a powerful reminder of a time when the world prepared for nuclear confrontation, and entire mountains were turned into machines of survival. Above ground, the sea sparkles peacefully. Below ground, history remains carved in stone.